Do you want to be a YouTuber? Do you want to make video tutorials and share your knowledge with the world? Well, you've come to the right place because in this week's Studio Live Today podcast, I'm telling you everything. I'm revealing all the secrets, all the behind the scenes stuff that goes into me creating a GarageBand iPad tutorial. Hello, my name is Pete Johns. Welcome to Studio Live Today and the Studio Live Today podcast. So, I get asked a lot about how I actually go about doing the things I do around here. And so I thought, what better way than to tell you everything? It's like the musician's secrets revealed, except I won't be wearing a sexy mask. So you'll just have to go with it. Hello to those that are listening to the audio version. I will explain things as best I can as we go through. But if you want to go over to the YouTube channel and catch the video version, that's probably recommended. Now, I've already prepared things. It's like a cooking show. Here's stuff I prepared earlier. I didn't want you to have to watch and listen and endure all of the recording process beforehand. So I'm going to tell you what I did, where we're up to, but what we are going to do is all of the editing. We're going to create a thumbnail, we're going to do tags, we're going to release the video, and we're going to do all of that here in one take so you can see exactly how long it takes for me behind the scenes to create one 5-minute tutorial. So, where are we at? What I've got so far is I have created and recorded a tutorial. I'm showing my screen here at the moment. I'm showing my GarageBand screen, and what you're seeing here is the audio. This is the pure audio of just me explaining what I did. Now, this particular tutorial didn't have any music in it, so it was just spoken word. So it's a little bit easier than what we normally do, and it doesn't have my face cam, so that makes it easier again as well. So what I've got here is a GarageBand recording, and if we give this a little play, you'll see that we have this apps section. Now, if you're on iPadOS 17 or earlier, your apps will all be listed here. So we'll dive in here and take a listen to this in a moment. Sorry, I had my monitoring on there. There's a tip for folks if you're doing weird setups like this, make sure you don't have your monitoring on. Let's just check that again. But if you can't find them, if you've just updated and you're like, well, there you go. So all I've done here is set this up. I've got my mixer, I've plugged my microphone in, and I've recorded this audio. However, at the same time, over here on the iPad, I've actually used the screen recorder function. Now, if you've never used screen recorder, it's super, super easy. All you need to do is swipe down from the top right of the screen and you'll see there this button here. Now you will need to maybe add it if you don't have it on your control center here, and that's changed over to, I'm still getting to grips with the new control center in iPadOS 18, but set up screen recording, and then all you do is tap on that screen recorder and record the screen. Now, what I do is there's two ways you can use a screen recorder. You can use it with a microphone and without. So when we tap and hold on this, see how we've got the microphone on, we can turn that off or on. Now, I don't use the audio from the iPad, but I do use it to sync up with the audio on my Mac that I've just recorded in GarageBand. So I always record with the microphone on just to make it easier to sync that audio. But if you're not, because guess what? You can just use the built-in mic or whatever microphone you've got plugged in and record everything together here. In fact, that's something maybe I'll try and do for a future one. But for me, I just find it easier to have everything here. This goes through my mixer, which I record. And that's probably the other tip that here is I use a mixer and I actually have the output of my iPad going in there as well. So when I am doing ones that have music, the music that I play through here through GarageBand, as you can hear, that's going through into this recording right now, and I use the exact same process when I'm recording these. Now, when I do need a face cam for my video, I will either use StreamYard, which is sort of the legacy system I've been using, which is a web-based streaming but also recording platform, or what I'm using now and starting to get my head around, which is called Ecamm Live, which is what I'm recording this very podcast on. So let's jump back over here to the screen, because what I've done is I've grabbed this and I've just shared this. I've exported this song to disk and I've saved it into my iCloud drive. Now, I'm a bit lazy when it comes to files, so I just used my downloads folder. I basically use my iCloud Drive downloads folder to send things to and from. That way, if I've got my phone, my iPad, my Mac, wherever I am, I've got this one downloads folder, it's on iCloud Drive, and all my files are there. And I'll show you why that's handy in just a jiffy, because let's jump back over to the iPad. Here we are, and let's go and start working on how we're going to edit this video. So here is the Files app, and here's the audio file. This GarageBand hidden settings that's saved here in my downloads, that's the audio file that I've saved here. So I'm going to use that in LumaFusion. So yeah, am I going too fast? This is a bit next level stuff, but you follow along, hit pause if you need a quick break and a refresh. But I use LumaFusion as the video editing software here on my iPad. I've been using it for years and I highly recommend it. Now you're about to see the behind the scenes of how disorganized and how much I need to do a clean out, because I've got all these projects that I haven't cleaned out from my iPad. But the good news is I start with my template. So the template I use for a tutorial is this one. It's called Template, 60 frames per second. The reason is because I have different sort of tutorials I do. If it's just me ranting, it's a 30 frame a second, it's a 1080p video. But when I'm using a screen recording, because it's high resolution, I put those out at 4K at 60 frames per second. So let's just tap on this one. We're going to hit the duplicate button and I'm going to rename this. So I'll rename this GarageBand tutorial, and this is going to be called Hidden Settings, sort of Hidden Settings. Can't spell. Always the way. So I've created a new project here. I'm going to open that project. And what this project has is it has my little Studio Live Today stinger in there, and it has what used to be my layout here, just in case I need to copy that. I've actually changed that here now, so I'm actually going to tap and delete that out. So I've got my little Studio Live Today stinger, which you've probably recognized, that I play there. So that's that one. Now, what do I do from here? Well, I've got to import two things. I've got to bring in the screen recording and I've got to bring in the audio file. So the first thing I'm going to do is tap up here to go to my photos and go to all photos and videos. And the most recent one should be this one here. We're going to tap, drag that, drop it down here into our project. So this is the screen recording that we just did. Now you'll notice that because it's an iPad, if we double tap on it, you'll notice that it's not going to fill the screen. So what I normally do is, for most tutorials, if I can fit them all in the right spot, I just grab here under position. So we're in the frame and fit, and the position is I just grab this slider and put it so that it's not showing the date and time at the top there, but it's kind of showing everything else like that. And then we come back from there. So that's going to be the layout. If we need to move it, we can, and I'll show you that as we go through the editing process. Now, let's find our audio file. We're going to this time tap on the import button, which is the three dots here, import media. We're going to go to our Files app. It'll already be here. Oh, it was in the downloads folder. Now it's not. Let's just go back to downloads, grab this GarageBand hidden settings and hit open. It'll import that here, and then we can just grab it, drag it, and drop it in the audio track directly under our video. And this is the point where we can actually start making sure that everything is lining up here correctly. Now I'm looking here on my, I'm looking here and it doesn't look like it's actually recorded the audio, and I've just realized the mistake I've made here, which is going to make life a little bit more difficult, but not impossible. You'll notice if you look at the video version that the only audio that's showing here on the iPad is the times where I've touched the keyboard. So that you've just got little pockets of spots here where we're just moving between screens. I've touched the keyboard. Now, thank goodness I did that, because it looks like I recorded this while my audio interface was plugged in, which I normally unplug it. I forgot to do that, but we can probably be saved by those little wub-wubs in the end, because anywhere where you've got something that can line up with something, which it looks like we do here with this wub-wub and, do we have one at the start? We might not have been recording the screen at that point. So we're just going to have to find a spot where this is going to align. And I think it's going to be here. So what I'll generally do here is just place a little cut and remove the front part there, just so that we can see where this is going to line up. And if this, whoop, we went too far, we'll just drag that back and drop it there. I'm just moving the audio around to see if it'll actually line up. What I'll do is I'll tap my little audio button here. I've made things a little bit more difficult for myself here today, haven't I? Always the way. I wouldn't have done this if I wasn't using this as a demonstration. So let's just see if these audio files line up. That looks like it's the spot where it should line up. So, and you can see me moving. Keyboard note labels. If we have these off, when we come to that's my talking on. If you're on the audio version, it's going to get confusing, but that's me talking. Let's just see if this is going to line up with this sound. You'll see we don't have any of the notes apart from this. There's me doing the little mistake there. So I think that's going to work for us. So now we can drag this out. Now that we've got that aligned, we can drag the audio file out to the rest of that, and we should be good to go here. So what I'm going to do is turn down the volume of the video file because we don't need that, and we're just going to be using the audio file's volume. From here, we get to edit. So what I do is I'll find the first part of the first take here. There's usually a few sort of false starts. Let's take a listen to those. Ba 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 ba. There's the ba 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 ba. You get to hear what I do behind the scenes here. This could be very embarrassing. GarageBand has a great... yeah, there you go. So let's come to this first one. I'm going to hit the cut button here, which is there, and then we're going to delete out that first section. I missed all those buttons. Let's show you that again. Tap there and hit the delete button. Okay, so let's see if this is going to be the correct opening. GarageBand has a bunch of settings that you can change, including some advanced settings right here in the app. But did you know that there's also another place in your settings app that you can change some GarageBand options? In this video, I'm going to show you how. Let's go. That looks good. So you can see me jumping around on the screen, looking at different options, and we're going to cut that there. So I think this is good as long as we can see where I'm sort of tapping. Yep, you don't see the very bottom of it there, but that's okay. We'll be all right for there. What I do often do is instead of going widescreen, if I need to make sure I show all of my screen, I'll bring it in. But when I'm doing my introductory bit, I normally have it widescreen at least, and then bring it in for that. Because remember, an iPad screen is not actually 16 by 9, which is the size that we want a video to be. So all I've done there now is I'm going to grab that and drag it. Now, the cool thing about LumaFusion is it'll connect your audio and your video as long as they're directly above each other and you cut in the same spot, so you don't have to like move them separately. So let's listen to this intro going into my little stinger there. GarageBand has a bunch of settings that you can change, including some advanced settings right here in the app. But did you know that there's also another place in your settings app that you can change some GarageBand options? In this video, I'm going to show you how. Let's go. Pretty good. You'll notice here that the volume's up a little bit too high. So because my mixer, my volume, I change it up a lot. I'm very inconsistent. You're going to learn that it's like the wizard behind the curtain here, that it's not always that consistent or professional around here. It's like, yeah, this works for me for now. So I'm going to change my output gain to +7 dB and keep it at 0 on the actual track gain, just to make sure that this is at the right level. So let's go to our next section. Why, hello there. My name is Pete, and this I'm trying some different ones here. Ahoy hoy. Yeah, I went ahoy hoy at the end, didn't I? Ahoy hoy, doing my best Mr. Burns there. We're going to cut and we're going to delete that next section. So this is our sting into our intro. Ahoy hoy, my name is Pete. This is a GarageBand 5-minute tip. Now, if you want to learn all of the different settings that we have here and in the advanced settings as well, check out the other video linked down in the description. All right, so the tip here that I'll give you is these days modern editing it's pretty good because you just want to do direct cuts. You want to do jump cuts between you do different things. There's no star wipes. There's very rarely transitions. If you're doing sort of more filmmakery stuff, maybe. But yeah, for short form, medium form, tutorial based content, people just want it really fast, really snappy cuts. So that's why I'm cutting right up to the end of the word. Feels almost overly aggressive when you first start doing this, and it's taken me a while. I used to have big gaps in there. People would tune out, and now I'm hoping that they don't. So we'll come to our next section here and do our cut and tab it and get rid of it and take a listen to this transition. However, in this one, we're going to go over to our settings app. So I'm going to swipe up from the bottom. Yeah, I'm definitely going, because I'm doing a lot of swiping and moving between things, what I'm going to do is transition this to a non-widescreen version. So to do that, I'm going to double tap and I'm coming here to my frame and fit position here. So we can actually change this. So what I'll do is I'll grab the size one to start with and I'll resize this down. I'll grab the position and I'll grab the slider to position it up. Need a little more size here, so we'll go to the size and increase it. And what I like to do is, again, cut off that top part there. So we'll put it to, Yeah, this is going to be a great audio podcast, isn't it? Thinking as we're going along, and then grab the position Y. You can also just grab out here and move it. So that's what I often do, to sort of find the basic position where it wants to be with my finger, and then just make sure that we've got it centered at least horizontally. So you can see we've got black bars on the side, but for something like this where we're doing a lot of flicking between screens and it's more of doesn't have to be the aesthetics, we want practicality here over and above everything else. So let's take a look at this transition between these two down in the description. However, in this one, we're going to go over to our settings app. So I'm going to swipe up from the bottom here, and I'm going to go over to the settings app here. Now over on the left here, if we scroll down, you'll see that we have this. Yeah, I made the right choice here because this is right at the bottom here. I wouldn't be able to see that otherwise. Section. Now, if you're on iPad OS... Now, what I do here to cheat, I set all this so I know what it is. So we're going to do a little bit of fast editing here. I'm just going to come to the end just to make sure that this is a complete take. This Apps tab. All right, so I knew I said to there. So we're going to do some sort of speed editing here now. So the way I do this, I'll use the pointer for the first one, and then you'll know what I'm doing from there. So I'm going to scroll across, just using my finger, dragging across, finding the end of that. I'm going to tap on the cut button there, and then I'm going to keep scrolling and find the start of our next point. Then I'm going to hit the cut button there, tap on the blue section there, and hit delete. So editing becomes quite quick and intuitive once you start doing that. And then I'll normally just have a quick listen to the transition. This Apps tab. And this actually makes it much easier because now you can not only scroll through here, so I know what I say here. So again, I'll come to the end, these settings to there, and keep going through here. Now in this next section, the top section here is your garage. I got that wrong a couple of times. The top all right, this third time looks like a charm. So we'll bring it to there, and we'll just trim it. So you can see once you start these settings. The top section here is what GarageBand is allowed to add. So again, I know what I say there, so we'll come to the end here. Back up your GarageBand projects. I hope I get this one under 5 minutes because I was recording it going, I'm saying a bit too much here. So it's only an 8.5 minute audio recording, so I'm thinking it'll edit down to 5. If we scroll down here, we have the more GarageBand specific options. Let's cover these one by one. All right. Go there and do a cut, come to the next section. There might be some errors here, but we'll go with it. Knob gestures can be automatic. All right, well, there's my knobs. Talk about knobs. Knobs, I leave it on automatic. I do. I couldn't agree with me more. So we're just going through here, we're cutting. And look, yeah, could I take more care with this? Yeah, but Pareto's principle, the 80-20 rule. Yeah, you don't want to spend 100, like you don't want to spend that extra 20% of the time, fine tuning things. If I was like a TikTok creator and these were 60-second or 30-second shorts, maybe, but I just need to get it about right. Let's see. Automatic. Crosstalk protection should. All right, so we talk crosstalk protection. So be careful. Be careful. Wise words, Johns. Next section, chop it. Automatic recording length. This is where we can set bars we have in GarageBand. So that was the intro part to that. I think I stuff it up here the first time. So let's find the spot where I get it. With automatics, there we go. So again, because this is why I edit almost immediately after I record, because I remember kind of where I stuffed up and so I can work around them. With automatic select, see that one, there was a little bit too long of a delay. So this is what I'll GarageBand. All right, so there, I'll just give it a little more of an aggressive cut on each side, just so that it keeps moving along. So I know I said, I'm not being hypocritical, I know I said I don't really care too much, and then I'm showing you that I care too much. But if I notice something, I'll just fix it while I'm doing this here. This section to help, yep, so there's the stuff up, and I think I stuff again, and then with automatic on, yeah, there you go. So that's the spot that we need to go to. And I will sort of go through this and check it afterwards to make sure I don't edit in any bits that shouldn't be. I've done that before, don't worry. With automatic on, you'll notice that this will say automatic. That one looks better. Or import. Yep, there you go. All right, next one, up to here, cut it, chop it. Support for MPE controllers, you can leave. Yep, we'll move past that one. Ning it off. Aggressively cut there and bring it in here. Assertive, let's not say aggressive, let's say assertive cutting. Turning it off. Keyboard note labels are, there you go. And this is, oh, stuffed that one up. This is the one where I was coming and going for a while. Let's come down to here. Oh, we've made a mistake there. So if I do that, it just means I haven't cut everything in the right way. So if you see how it's, well, for those watching, what I had is I had only the videos selected, not the audio. And that's because I'd already tapped on the video itself because we had this weird cut that we did before. Don't worry, it's fine. We'll sort it out. So what I'm going to do is make sure that we tap off. So if you've got this selected, it's only going to cut the video. But if we just tap off and have nothing selected, it's going to select all tracks in the project, which is what we want. So now when we trim, it's going to be able to be deleted. Whoop, nope, got to do it again this way. This time, what we'll need to do is actually just trim here as well, just so that it creates those chunks that we've been working with. Audio version people, you must be having a ball at the moment. All right. Keyboard note labels. If we have these off, when we come to GarageBand, you'll see we don't have any of the notes apart from this. There's me messing it up. Keyboard. All right, we'll go back to keyboard note labels. So that's where it's going to start from. The other thing you may have noticed is it's done that. It's zoomed back in again. So we're going to need to do something. I did that on purpose so that I could show you this nifty trick. So if we want to copy the settings of the video so far over to here, all we need to do, we don't need to recalibrate it all. We just tap on this one, hit the copy button, and then hit copy. And then we tap on this one that we want to paste it to, hit the paste button again, make sure all these attributes are highlighted, and then hit paste attributes. And then it's going to be consistent through those. So let's just check this transition again. Maybe try turning it off. Keyboard note labels with these. All right, so there's our keyboard note labels, and we get to here with its name. All right, I think that was all within there. We'll find out later. We'll find out when we release it. People will say, you left in the bit where you stuffed up, Johns. All right, name. Enable Apple Design Audio Unit Extensions. Turn this on. Did you know that there's a whole bunch of additional... All right, I think I did this okay. I thought I was going to mess up that take, but I did all right. The description. All right, we're only at 3 minutes now, and we're sort of making our way down here, so I think we're going to be okay for the 5-minute tutorial. I've done so many of these that I've got in the zone. Reset GarageBand. Only use... All right, I think I messed this one up, didn't I? I sure did. All right, let's come down to this one, which I think is the correct version. Hit play. Reset GarageBand. This is something you can use if your GarageBand is crashing. All right. Normally, I just listen to this and go to the end with the GarageBand. If you're not, leave it off. Yep. What do I say here? Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I say ba-ba-ba-ba a lot. All right. Reset identifier. This is a privacy thing. If yeah, reset identifier. Yeah, I did a 2. I did a 2 for here. So let's chop that one. Leave it off. Reset identifier. This is an Apple privacy thing. So if you want to make sure that you don't have your data linked to original data that you may have shared, you can turn that on. All right, we're coming towards the end here, folks. The pain will be over soon. Just think, be thankful you're not me and you don't do this as a job on the daily. Turn that on. And at the bottom, we have the About section, your version, your license agreement, and your acknowledged version of GarageBand. All right, we actually came in much shorter than I thought we would in the end. Once again, check out the video. All right. Once again, check out. Once again. All right, there were 3 versions there, as you could hear at the end. So I'll just go to the end of the right one and check our transition. Once again, check out the videos down below if you'd like to learn how to use all of the settings here in GarageBand. Happy creating, and I'll see you next time. Done. Chop it right on the end so that there's no hold, no bar, no fuss, no muss. 3 minutes 37. Pretty good. Let's just come back here and listen to the start again. GarageBand has a bunch of settings that you can change, including some advanced settings. And what I'm going to do is just have a quick look over here on the left on my main meter, just to make sure that it's not too low volume, but I'm also not clipping in the app. But did you know that there's also another place in your settings app that you can change some GarageBand options? In this video, I'm going to show you how. Let's go. Maybe 1 more dB. Ahoy hoy, my name is Pete. This is a GarageBand 5-minute tip. Now, if you want to learn all of the different settings that we have here and in the advanced settings as well, check out the other video linked down in the description. However, in this one, I reckon we can probably go back up to +9 here. I do record a little bit too quietly, and again, I could spend a lot of time limiting this and compressing it and getting it all perfect. It's not that I want mediocrity, but it's a little bit quantity over quality sometimes when you're doing so much of this. Let's export this. Now, the beauty part is that this is only a short one, so it won't take us that long. We can hit the export button down here and hit movie and photos. Now, I highly recommend sending these to your photos rather than trying to send it straight to YouTube. That tends to fail. I'm going to make this 4K. because the resolution of the screen capture is good enough to be nice and crispy with 4K, and the video quality, we can leave it at this smaller setting. I must admit, it doesn't do anything, but I just go ultra. It's actually kind of pointless because it's kind of upscaling stuff that's not already at that Mbps, but I've never really learned how to use this properly. You're learning all the secrets here. I just do it at the highest quality because I've got the time and I've got the room. So we're going to export that out. And while that does that, we will start looking at some other things here. In fact, you know what? I'm going to cancel that. Why am I going to cancel that? Because I need to get a screenshot for my thumbnail. And I can do that and work on my thumbnail while I wait for that to export. So let's come over here and what do we want for this thumbnail? We probably want the actual, there's that, again, we want these, don't we? We want these settings here. So we want it to show maybe the GarageBand here. So we'll just take a snapshot of this down on the G. So all I do is do a screenshot of this. And take that and, oh, see, I've got my, I don't want my, my pointer there. So let's just delete those two. We'll put the pointer up the top here. We're definitely not going to include that part. So screenshot it. And then we're going to come in here to GarageBand. And do I want those ones here? They're all the access things. They look a bit nicer because they've got some colors on them. But these are the ones that I want to kind of show that we're going to show. So maybe I'll do these ones here. And pop, pop. Do that one there, maybe bring it down to there. You can see this is all basically trial and error. So we've got those in there, and what we'll do is we'll go to our Photos app, now that that's been recorded as photos, and we will grab these. So I'll hit select. Whoops, I don't really like the new Photos app here in this. And I'm going to airdrop these over to my Mac. So I'm going to tap this one, and we're going to airdrop to my Mac. So it's going to give us the bing, 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 bings. And that's going to send that one over, and they are now over on my Mac. So while I do that, we can come back and we can restart the render process of this video. So we're going to render this one out by doing the same things we did before. Share, movie, photos, do my weird thing where we need it to be 4K starters. Select 4K, select the largest, boop, and export it. All right, so while that is doing its thing, we're going to jump on over here to my screen. So let's bring up the screen that we were using before, which is here. And let's grab my browser because we need to start doing the actual thumbnailing and YouTube uploading. That was the easy part, believe it or not. This next part is usually the harder part. So I'm here at canva.com. This is where I create my my video thumbnails. And the last one I did is this one. What are these? This is the question for the master effects. So I'm just going to make a copy of this one. And that's going to bring it up over here. I'm going to open that thumbnail, and we're going to delete that weird Pete. Whoops, wrong one. Undo. I'm going to tap on this Pete, and I'm going to delete the background. And we're going to change this because I'm going to call this one, we're a little clickbaity, hidden settings. Yes, a little clickbaity, but we're going to go with it because they are actually hidden settings, and I'm showing you how to find them. So we just make some maneuvering here of some things. I like to select things and just use my keyboard to move things around. And yes, I use Canva because I'm a little bit basic, because I can't get my head around things like, I'm not smart enough to use things like what's it called? Photoshop. Plus, I don't really want to pay Adobe all that money. So I'm going to, I think I pay $10 a month for Canva, unlimited stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good. So I'm going to move these and drag these over into Canva. So if I just dump them on there, it'll give us all three of them. What am I going to go with for this? I think my idea here is to have this with the GarageBand bit, and then like sort of so that you can see that it's GarageBand and then it's pointing over to that. So I'm just going to crop this down to here, maybe just to there. And then, because remember, you don't want things that people have to like squint to see what's going on with. I reckon if we chop this one in half, but just make sure that we can see GarageBand embiggened towards the top like this. And then I like the idea. See, this is where I cheat a little bit. I mean, a lot. So I'm going to have it like that. but I want these over closer. So I'm just going to copy and paste a version so that I can crop this one and crop it all the way over to here, like so. And then this other one, I want to use the other side of it. So I'm going to crop this one. This is where you have to do some creative zooming in and out here on Canva. I only want the arrows. I only want you for your arrows, this one. Zoom it back in. But see how we can sort of hodgepodge and Frankenstein together something that's not technically what it looks like, but it'll mean that we can show this. Do we need those bits? I don't think I need that A, B, C, D, F, G. So we'll just move that over. So all I've done is I've grabbed the bit where you get to the settings, which has the nice new GarageBand logo on there, which makes it look pretty cool. And then I'm going to put the other one. So I'm going to go back to my elements. By the way, the movie's nearly rendered, so we're going to jump back over to that in just a moment. We're going to go to this other one. Don't ask about the Michael Bublé pictures. Whole different story. We're going to bring in these settings, and we're going to once again crop it, and just grab all these sort of little sliders. Maybe won't use all of them. We'll just use a chunk of them, just so that it can look like, oh, wow. So I'm saying to a user, hey, wow, look at all these cool settings that you can get to if you do that, if you know how to get to them, or something like that. So in fact, do I need to put myself into these? Into this one? I normally put my pointing Pete into here. Might not be relevant for these ones, or maybe I do. Maybe I put these across here, and I'd put a pointing Pete in here going, wow, I can't believe there's settings to change. Or I put myself in the middle, maybe. All right. We'll come back to that in a moment. We'll first of all go back over to my iPad. So this is all done now. So all we need to do now is send this over to my Mac. I'm going to go back to Photos. Nope, it opened a different thing. Anyone else have that problem? It opens Safari, like it changes these down here. You're about to tap something, and then it changes, or is that just me? People are like, that's just you, Johns. All right, so what I'm going to do is open this one. I'm going to hit, it's screen mirroring, so it's actually closed. It's not showing you this. In fact, if I close it, wow, that was weird. It started playing it. The Photos app doesn't show up properly when I'm on here. So if you're watching the video version, this isn't going to look, but I'm pretty sure you know. Now it's working. Okay, we'll do it from here. So if we select and we tap on that one, and then we hit the share button, and then we share it over to my Studio Max. It's going to bling, and then it's going to come on across, and then we can come back to my screen, which is over here, and we can start putting it on here. So we can go to my Finder, and here's the video. This one here, Hidden Settings MP4. So this is the one that's come across just now, is it? Yes, it is. I know by the timestamp. So this is the one that we're going to upload. So let's upload it. YouTube.com. We're going to hit the create button in the top right. We're going to upload video. And then we are going to grab it and drag it onto our upload section. And we've got a whole bunch of different things that we need to add in here afterwards. So there it is, GarageBand tutorial hidden settings is all it's called it so far. We need to title it, we need to descript it, we need to put our thumbnail in, and we need to do a bunch of other stuff. Let's finish the thumbnail so that we can then do all of the settings. It's uploading right now, so it's in the process. This is a cool thing. I don't multitask, but I stack task. And that's not really the right word, but you'd kind of know what I mean, yeah? So I don't mind this without my face in it, but I'll show you what I can sometimes do is to use a pointing Pete to just kind of emphasize this. So I usually use like one of the confused looking ones, if it's this, or like what, or huh? So maybe because it's what should we go with? That one without any thumbs is probably not the best. Maybe we go with the hat, the red with the hat, just to put some color in here. So we'll go with that. We'll come back to our project, go home, come in and open that one, our hidden settings, and we'll paste it in. So I've just copied it, just Control-C'd it, and I could Control-V it. It could be, this might actually work, because if I'm pointing, I could do the pointing. I could point to the GarageBand of it. And just come in here, you can still sort of see some of the settings there. And I can be pointing to it. I'm covering up too much of the settings though, aren't I? I don't know whether I'm in there or not. Maybe I just put myself in between here. And that could do it. And maybe I bring the GarageBand down and I just slot myself there, and that way you can still see a bit more of it. So this is where it gets interesting. Start to second guess myself. We don't have time to mess about too much with this either. Do I just use the? You know what? I think let's just undo all this. Undo. I kind of liked how it looked before. And I think without me in there, I can just use this yellow arrow position. Let's move to the front. Yeah, that way it's just hidden settings. And if there's this arrow, it's going from the word settings down to GarageBand, and then it's showing all the settings. I think that's more important. Just move this back, position to back. I think that's more important than having my mug on there. So let's try this one. Let's try this without me. I'm not the center of attention with this one. So let's save this one out. I'm going to download it, and usually I need a JPEG, a high quality JPEG for doing this. Oh, I haven't renamed it. Let's just rename it and call it Hidden Settings, and we'll share it. We'll save it, download it as a JPEG, full quality, and download that. The reason is you can't have more than 2 megabyte file for the thumbnail of a YouTube video. And PNGs, despite being better quality, are usually slightly too big. They usually come out about 2.5. So now we're back to here. You can see this has continued uploading in the background. It's doing its thing, which is cool because we can now come in here and do all the fun stuff. And by fun, I mean probably the least fun part of it, which is all the optimization. But I've got a few shortcuts and things because I've done this quite a few times, more than 3,000 times, if you can believe it, more than 3,000 videos on this channel. So I'm going to grab my JPEG and throw that one in here. So that's got my thumbnail. Now we need to work on the titling. So what I normally do is go to my previous YouTube video. So I'm just going to jump back into YouTube Studio. You're going to see the behind the scenes here. And I'm going to go to my previous one, which was another GarageBand tutorial. And what I'll do is I'll just grab, copy, and paste the title, just so that I've got like the same format, and copy and paste the description as well. So I've got the title and the description. I'll delete the timestamps here, just so that they're not going to be the same. And then I'll adjust this. So this is going to be, we'll change this. It was how to find and use the hidden app settings in GarageBand iPad. So now here's the thing. With the titling, I'm going to say GarageBand iOS, but it's some extra settings, I think. Something like that. Extra settings. Or do we try and go epic hidden settings in GarageBand iOS? How to find more settings. That could be fun. How to find more settings in GarageBand iOS. Yeah, why not? How to often works well. How to find more settings, or how to find hidden settings. I normally use a different word than what's on the thumbnail because it's like hidden settings and people are like, what? And then it says how to find more settings. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. Here's the cool thing. You can change this later if it doesn't work out. So I've got all the rest of it, which is just copied from that last one. We need to do the timestamps in a moment. I'll show you how we do that. Playlists. Now, I ordinarily just throw these straight in the playlists, even though it means that if someone's in that playlist, if it's an unlisted video, which it is at this point, they can watch it. Guess what? Maybe 2 or 3 people might stumble over it. If you don't want to do that, add the playlists after you've made it public. Simple as that. So, no, it's not made for kids, and now I need to click the Show More button here. It is not paid promotion, but it's also not altered content. Yeah, this is that new IQ? What am I trying to say? AI. New AI option to make sure that you're not using altered content. All of these, you can read these. If you've uploaded stuff, I just tick them all. I basically let YouTube have all of its fun and games with my videos because it tends to help with it getting actually put out there and positioned. Now, tagging. So I kind of have a bit of fun with tagging because it doesn't really matter these days. It used to be really important, and then it went to somewhat important, and now it's virtually unimportant. But what I do tend to do is just tag it with whatever I think people might be searching for. So, and as you can see here, it doesn't matter in terms of capitalization. So I normally do like GarageBand settings, GarageBand iOS settings, GarageBand iPad settings, GarageBand iPhone settings, then just settings, hidden settings, GarageBand hidden settings, GarageBand app settings, GarageBand settings, iOS 18, GarageBand settings, iPadOS 18, GarageBand settings, iOS 18 without a gap, without a space, because again, this is what people are searching for. GarageBand settings, iPadOS 18. The reason I'm putting those in, specifically iOS and iPadOS 18, is that this is where people are going to not be able to find them, because when you watch the video, it'll make more sense. But, but when things were changed to iPadOS 18, it changed the settings section, and it's very different now to how it used to be. So I'm just throwing in a bunch of keywords there. I could start putting sort of crosstalk protection, which is one of them. Note labels, which is one of them. GarageBand note labels, the ones that people are most likely going to be coming in here to find. GarageBand reset, the reset options in there, reset. And as you can see, GarageBand without with the space in between. And that's about right. So you get 500 characters here. Like I say, I used to spend hours on this. I used to have apps. I used to use all the different systems and all the platforms to make sure that this was perfect. Now I kind of just chuck stuff in and hope for the best, and it usually works out okay. The rest of it I just leave default and go to the next. Now, monetization, I would actually like to keep the lights on and feed my children, so I'm going to turn monetization on, and what we need to do now is go to the next button here, tell it that it doesn't have any of this stuff. So I don't have any of that stuff in any of my videos. Makes it very easy. I just go none of the above, hit submit rating, and it will submit that. Now, I don't have the ability to add mid-rolls, so that makes it easy because it's not more than 8 minutes. If it was more than 8 minutes, I could add an ad in the middle. Or if I'm like most creators, make it 8 minutes and 1 second and add 4 ads in the middle so that your viewing experience is terrible. I will never do that. The maximum ads I put in is 1 per 10 minutes, and usually it's 1 per 15. So a 30-minute video will have 1 ad, very occasionally 2 ads if it's like if it makes sense, to have that. Now we've got subtitles, tag products, and cards. Now I think we'll have to put some cards because I think I mentioned some videos. I normally say in the description, but sometimes I might want to put cards. I do that afterwards, but the end screen I can put in now. So I'm going to hit the add button, I'm going to go element and subscribe. So I always put my logo in the top right corner of the video. That just seems a logical place. I don't know. And then I go element again, playlist. This time I want to make sure that the 5-minute tips playlist, because we've got 57 other videos, is the most predominant one. Now I can see where it's going to kick in here if I hit the play button. Make sure that you don't have your data linked to original data that you may have shared. You can turn that on. And at the bottom we have, this is only really hand updated to the latest version of GarageBand. Once again, so there you go. I was just basically trying to find where I want this to be, because by default it puts it 20 seconds before the end, but I want it to just pop up as I'm doing my closing so that people don't think, the video's about to end. I'll just leave now anyway. Because if you put too much time, that's what'll happen. Version of GarageBand. Once again, check out the videos down below if you'd like to learn. So there you go. And then it says, check out the videos down below. And it's literally both in the description, but it's right there as well. So we're going to hit save on that one. And save that one in, and then hit the next button here, and it's going to do its checks, which it's given me some ticks for copyright and ad suitability because I'm a good boy and I play by the rules. Hit next, and now I'm going to leave it as unlisted. I'm going to hit save on that one, and it is in there. Now, there is one thing that I like to do here, and that is to do some timestamps just to help people out. Smaller videos, I don't always do it, but it can be handy. And plus I need to do a couple of other final things. So here is my video. It's currently unlisted. It's monetized. It's there. It's uploaded. It's good to go. I'm going to hit the edit button here, go to my details, and I'm going to copy these 2 lines that I put under the video description. And then I'm going to open up the video itself. And you can see here, video quality, it's already processed the standard, HD, and 4K version. See, 4K complete. If that wasn't complete, if it still was flashing and said processing, I wouldn't make this public until it's complete. So what I can do, though, is open this video up, and it's going to start. GarageBand has a bunch of settings that I'm just going to turn the volume down here just so that you can hear me sort of talk over it as we go here. And I'm going to play, first of all, I'm going to paste in those links to be the top comment. So I'm going to paste in the more GarageBand tips to send people to my GarageBand FAQ, which you can go to right now as well, studiolivetoday.com/GarageBand, as well as the 5-minute tips playlist. And I'm going to hit comment, and then I'm going to like my own comment because I'm a narcissist, but I'm going to pin it to the top. So that just means that when people go to the comments to say, Johns, you know nothing, the first thing they'll see is links to my stuff. So it's a handy way to go. So let's listen to this video and let's timestamp it. So, and plus, we get the two benefits here. We're timestamping the video and we're checking it. Because if I have messed up in the edit, this is where I may need to go back, redo the video. It doesn't happen often, but it'll probably happen this time, just because I've said that now. Let's play it. GarageBand has a bunch of settings that you can change, including some advanced settings right here in the app. But did you know that there's also another place in your settings app that you can change some GarageBand options? In this video, I'm going to show you how. Let's go. There you go. I put 00 and I put the settings. Ahoy hoy, my name is Pete. This is a GarageBand 5-minute tip. Now, if you want to learn all of the different settings that we have here and in the advanced settings as well, check out the other video linked down in the description. However, in this one, we're going to go over to our settings app. So I'm going to swipe up. All right, so at 26 seconds is where we show that. So yeah, it's not. So yeah, how to access settings is what we're going to put there. And I did realize I might forget, but remind me afterwards. You can't do that, I know, because this is a pre-recorded video or audio. But I do need to. I did say that a video was linked. In fact, let's do it now. Before I forget, let's do it now because I actually mentioned my complete settings video in here. So let's come out here. Let's search for Pete Johns GarageBand settings and find that video because this is one. Here it is. Here's the all 25 plus settings explained, which was a nice long detailed video. So let's copy that and let's paste that down here in the other related videos. So we're going to put here all GarageBand settings explained. And I remember, we don't need all this stuff after the question mark. I also remember that there was another one that I said, which is Apple free plugins. So the free AU plugins from Apple. Which I need to do an updated video on because look at this. I only have a 2023 video. There you go. Guess what the next video is going to be, folks? It's going to be Apple's free plugins in 2024. So let's come back here and we'll go Apple's free AUV3 plugins. Just so that I don't tell lies that I'm actually putting them down here in the description. We'll delete it. By the way, it puts these links in, it puts these question marks, SI, blah, blah, blah. You never need that, so you can always delete it. So let's save that out. Let's come back and finish doing our quick playthrough. From the bottom here, and I'm going to go over to the settings app here. Now, over on the left here, if we scroll down, you'll see that we have this apps section. Now, if you're on iPadOS 17 or earlier, your apps will all be listed here. But if you can't find them, if you've just updated and you're like, where are all my apps? They're right here under this apps tab. And this actually makes it much easier because now you can not only scroll through here, we can actually tap over here on the side. So to go to GarageBand, we can tap, and then there's that nice new iPadOS 18 GarageBand logo. Let's tap on GarageBand and jump in and talk about these settings. The top section here is what GarageBand is allowed to access. So 105 is where it's access settings. It's playing in the background there. I've just turned it down. There. You've also got the background app refresh here, which you can turn on or off, mobile data usage on or off, and your document storage. This is so 125 is the document storage. That's an important one. 125 document storage. Now, did I make a mistake there? Yes, I did. I put 1005, not 105. 1005 will not work. Let's come back to the video. Automatic, linear, or circular. So that's whether you want to go knob gestures, automatic, linear. Let's cover these one by one. Knob gestures can be automatic, linear, or circular. So that's whether you... So I've got 141 is your knob gestures. 0141 knob gestures. And this obviously puts timestamps in, but it also helps out if people search, because this will be in the metadata now. So if people are like, where are knob gestures? This will show them. Want to go up, down, side to side, or roundy with your knobs. I leave it on automatic. Crosstalk protection should probably stay on. 150 is crosstalk protection. You can't monitor that guitar because you've got a very old school analog kind a rig, in which case you can turn it off, but you might get some feedback, so be careful. Automatic recording length. This 202 is automatic recording length. We have in GarageBand. With automatic on, you'll notice that this will say automatic, and it will stretch this first section to however much audio we record or import. Support for MPE controllers you can leave on if you don't have an MPE 215. Let's just pause. It gets a bit hectic when you're doing a lot of this. Support for MPE controllers. And again, don't have to do this. It's just a nice to have. What that means, it really doesn't matter. But if you're having problems, maybe try turning it off. Keyboard note labels. With these on. Right, 223 is keyboard note labels. Yep. Off, you'll see that we don't have any notes on our GarageBand keys. As soon as we turn this on and we come back over to GarageBand, check this out. Every single note is labeled with its name. Enable Apple Design Audio Unit extensions. Turn this on. 236. Did you know that there's a whole bunch of additional 236. Just turn that down. 236 is Enable Apple Audio Unit Go to audio unit extensions and scroll to the very bottom, and that's the one that's got the video. Logo ones are in here if you enable that, and there's some cool stuff in here that I talk about in another video. You can find that in the description. Reset GarageBand. This is something. Reset GarageBand at 259, and we're on the Hollywood stretch. 259. Reset GarageBand. All I need to do is show my kids me doing this, and they instantly don't want to be YouTubers. If you are having problems with GarageBand, if you're not, leave it off. Reset identifier. This is an Apple privacy thing. So if you want to make sure that your note is linked to original data that you may have shared, you can turn that on. And at the bottom, we have the About section, your version, your license agreement, and your acknowledgements. This is only really handy to check that you are updated. Handy to check license agreement and About section, your version. You can turn that on. And at the bottom, so 322 is the About section. All right. I think that'll do it. About section. Okay. So that's our timestamps in there. We'll hit the save button before we lose all of those. And let's do a final check and make sure that everything here is good. So there's our video. We have our links that we've put in there. You know what I'll do, just to make it even more convenient, I'll put these two videos in that section as well. So we'll just copy and paste, and we'll edit this, and we'll place these two videos here. I'll just put a little icon there in front of them just to separate them out and make them look pretty. Icon. All right, and hit save. So that's saved in. So the video looks good. It's all good. We've got our nice No John's thumbnail there with the nice GarageBand logo and the settings. Hidden settings, ? How to find more settings in GarageBand iOS. Okay. So how to find and use the hidden app settings. We've got our other videos there, our timestamps. We've got all the standard stuff I put in there about how to connect with me. It's been added to playlists already, so that's all done. We've done our tagging, which we've made sure that all the right settings are on there. Quick final check of monetization, because I've definitely released videos before and realized after the fact, after a couple of thousand people have watched them, that it wasn't running ads, which is wonderful for the people that watched those videos, less wonderful for me. So we're back here, and guess what? Drum roll, folks. In less than an hour, I've been able to edit and upload and tag and thumbnail and describe and timestamp a video. We're going to hit public. Now, it's a little later than I normally do this, because I normally release videos around sort of 9:30 my time, to be sort of afternoon, evening for the US folks. But a little later, we're going to go with it. Change this to public. Hit save, and many of you are hopefully getting a little notification right now in your YouTube or in your email or wherever you get your notifications, or you're scrolling through your home screen, your home page, and you're going to get that. We'll come back in just a couple of minutes and take a look at how that video is going, because you get to see how it's performing against other videos and all that sort of stuff. So we'll show you that in just a jiffy. But what do you reckon? Is this the sort of thing that you find interesting or useful? I love going behind the scenes. I love seeing how people do things. You probably were watching me pulling your hair out at some stages going, that's so frustrating, why would you do it that way? And other times you're probably going, never thought of doing that particular thing that particular way. So however you go with it, whatever you got out of it, I hope you you had a bit of fun and maybe learned a thing or two, or maybe just got to laugh at this. Or grab this video, grab this nearly hour-long video podcast or audio podcast, and play it to a child in your life that is bugging you about wanting to be an influencer or an Instagrammer or a TikToker or a YouTuber. And just show that to produce what was a 3-minute, 39-second video, it took half an hour to record it, which I didn't subject you to at the start. Actually, it was only 8 minutes. Let's not exaggerate. 10, 15 minutes to set up and record and then get it ready. And then, nearly an hour to bring it. And that's someone who's been doing this for 7 years and has kind of got the process down to, if not a fine art, then at least some sort of art. So why don't we jump on over and check out the video analytics. So what we can do is you can watch it in real time. It's actually really, it's quite exciting, but usually a little bit sad, because you'll watch it start just gently dribbling out to the world. So the thing I'm not going to show you here is what I do to promote this, which is to go onto Facebook groups and promote it there. Sometimes I'll put it on Instagram. If it's relevant, I'll tell my patrons, my Patreon members, and they can go and check it out. But with something like this, yeah, I'll put it on the GarageBand groups. It's not going to be the sort of universally interested thing. And what I can now do is go and live in the vanity metrics and look at how many people are viewing it in real time and whether it's matching up to how many people usually view my videos in the first hour and all that kind of jazz. So you can see here, it's updating live. It's gone from 4 to 5, and you can see who's getting it, who's watching it, and where it's coming from, the notification or the browse features or wherever it's getting picked up from. And yeah, not super interesting. Let me just show you, just for full disclosure, let's show you a previous one. Let's show you yesterday's video, which it's had nearly 400 views, which is not terrible, not amazing, but we'll jump back over and you can see that once it gets sort of a day later, it looks a little more like this. So I can see how many views I've had, the total watch time, sort of the real-time effect over the last day of people watching it early and then later on where they watched it from. The fact that I've made 86 cents from this video, and you're like, Johns, how do you feed your family on 86 cents a day? Well, yeah, remember, 3,000 plus videos. And no, that doesn't mean I make $3,000 a day, because some videos get 0 views every day. And I've lost a subscriber. So someone was so angry about me showing the master effects that they decided to unsubscribe from the channel. No, it just means that the video that someone has watched, if they then hit subscribe, it'll put a plus there. And if they hit unsubscribe, it'll put a minus there. It's just the way it rolls. That is going to do it. This was an interesting one, I hope. It's definitely very different for this week's Studio Live Today podcast. If you're on the audio version, feel free to leave a rating or review on your pod-catching place of choice. If you're on the video version, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Now that you know how much effort goes into doing all of these tutorials, if you'd like to support me, you can hit the thumbs up button. You can support me on Patreon. You can donate using the links down in the description of this video. But for me, for now, it's time to go and guess what? Do all the things I just did, but for this video for tomorrow. Yes, it never ends. Thanks, folks. As we say at the end of each and every one of these, please be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, keep creating, and I'll see you next time right here on the Studio Live Today podcast.